Ladies and gentlemen, pre-game show with your boy Rico. Listen, my man Bot couldn't be here. All good. We're going to get this thing cracking. Let's get this thing going real quick before the game gets started, folks. Welcome. Let's get to it, man. The biggest thing right now to talk about right now is this right here. You see this? This right here is what we here to talk about. I'm all, yeah. This right here. You see this? This is it. That's what we're going to talk about. This is an active list. We kind of knew this was coming. Here it is right in our face. Keon Coleman out. Amari Cooper out. Two biggest receivers on the squad. Some might say yes. Some might say, wait a minute, what about Khalil Shakir? Well, we're about to find out what Khalil Shakir can do, right? We've seen the big splash from our guy Keon Coleman twice now. We've seen that. The 125-yard game, boom. 70-yard game with a touchdown, boom. All right? We've seen Khalil do what he's supposed to do. Now you have both those guys gone. Now what you gonna do? Kincaid. This game today, folks, and it's no shade, but this is a call-out game. Call out, show them what you got. Because now you don't have those two guys here. You're going to have to help Josh Allen. Josh Allen, you know he's going to show up. You know he's going to do what he do. He's the point guard. But the point guard's got to be able to facilitate. And you got to facilitate to those that will finish. And that's what it's going to come down to it today, folks. The Colts face the Bills today. It's funny enough. I was in Costco just yesterday. And I'm walking. And I'm going to, the girls wanted something at the concession store to get, your hot dogs and all that stuff, right? Real quick. And I see a guy wearing a Colts hat. And you often see folks wear, certain team hats, and it's like, oh, I was gifted this hat. Oh, I found it in the garage somewhere. Oh, I root for this team, and I haven't really been, rooting for them so long. So I see a guy wearing a Colts hat. So I was like, you ready for this weekend? So if I say that, he better know what I'm talking about when I say, you ready for this weekend? And he absolutely knew what I was talking about. And I had to ask him. I was like, listen, man, as a Colts fan, you've been watching the Colts. He says he's a Colts and a Bills fan, but we'll get into that another time, right? But as a Colts fan, what does your team do strong? And what do you like about your team that you don't worry about them in this department? What is it? I didn't even ask him, what do you worry about the Bills? Everybody knows, Josh Allen, blah, blah, blah. What does your team do that has someone saying, oh, shoot? He goes, honestly, our defensive backs have been playing freaking lights out. We've been really good. Our defensive front, love it. Linebacking crews, the only place that I'm kind of weary. I'm kind of like, I'm not the most confident. That I said, what's the strongest unit on your squad overall? He goes, O-line. O-line. Immediately went to O-line. I was like, how do you feel about Jonathan Taylor? He's like, he's running really well this year. So they're going to run the football today. They're going to run the football. They're going to take time off the clock. They're going to try to keep Josh on the sideline. They will run the football because people have been able to do it on us. Now, the real question it becomes, are we allowing teams to do it and purposely putting a light box in there? Or are we truly bad at run defense and we're really not good at it? Well, indication tells you when we bring in Quentin Jefferson, we bring in Jordan Phillips, we need to shore up that line. Maybe there is something coming our way that we don't know. Jonathan Taylor is the key to this game. He is the key to this game. You let Jonathan Taylor get going, it's going to be a long day for the Bills. Why? Because we may not have what it takes to match up on the offensive side of the ball because we're missing the Keon Coleman. We're missing Amari Cooper. But we do have Khalil, and we do have Kincaid, and we do have James Cook and Ray Davis. So this game is an interesting one for me. So what stands out to me immediately is who the hell is going to step up? Who is going to step up? And I'm not talking about, I guess if you need me to step up. I don't want, I guess if you need me. I want those boys are out. Put it on me. Put it on me. Question is, who is going to say it? Is it Kincaid? Is it going to be Khalil Shakir? Is it going to be James Cook? James Cook don't talk like that. Josh Allen's the only person I can say put it on me, but he hasn't needed to be that guy because he's been able to distribute the ball? Is it going to be Mac Hollins, Curtis Samuel? Which one of these guys are going to step up today? I absolutely need Kincaid to step up. The linebacking crew is what's worst. That's where I want you to exploit. If we can take the middle of that defense, why not? James Cook in the pass game, why not? Listen, this Bills team needs to put points on the board. Putting points on the board is essential. Defensively making stops, okay, we'll get there at one point. We will get there at one point. But if you're not putting points on the board, you become one-dimensional, baby. You become one-dimensional. So the question is, what and how will you mitigate that? What will you do? What will this defense do? So real quick, keys to this game. Keys to this game, right off the rip. How do you establish yourself? All right, first things first, all hands on deck. Defensive front, scheming it, keeping contained, minding your gaps, having gap integrity. That is what these Bills need to do today. That is what they need to do. Why? Because Jonathan Taylor's back there. This guy's one of the best running backs in the game. Top 5. Arguably top 5. Maybe better. He's got 500 yards rushing this year, so he's running well. It's not like he's not. He's got almost 5 yards a pop. He can catch the ball in the backfield. He can run inside. He can run outside, and he can run away from you. And that's a solid line. Quentin Nelson's one of the best in the game. That's a solid line. Now, they are missing their center. Will that discombobulate that O-line? Who knows? Communication will be off. I don't know. You got a veteran quarterback that's going to make the right decisions and put the right people in the right places and make the right checks. Defensively, we've got to be on top of it. Stop the effing run. Has to be. That's number 1. Number 2, somebody has to be Josh's guy today. Somebody's got to be Josh's guy. Be Josh's guy, right? The guy that he can count on. Always. If it's a moment in the game you have to, sure. But you've got to be the guy that says, I'm your guy. Look my way. Look my way. And you know who I'm looking at, honestly, to be honest with you? Khalil Shakir. I'm looking at Khalil Shakir. It can't be screen plays and slants all day. When is it going to that where we open the playbook for him to go deep? When is it that we send him on a deep post, a corner route, the whole route tree? I need to see it. I don't want him to be one-dimensional. And I think he's way better than that. That's number 1. Number 2, when are we going to have the breakout Kincaid game? Right? We drafted him in the first round, and I'm not saying he ain't good because he's solid. But when does that game come out where it's like, that's the Kincaid game? Have we had that yet? We haven't had the Kincaid game yet. One of y'all step up. Lastly, offensively. 2 more points. I got to say, I'll lie to you. 2 more points. Curtis Samuel, quit collecting checks, bro. Quit collecting checks and start collecting these freaking footballs thrown your way. Find a way. Find a way. If you have to say, coach, this is it. Let me step up somewhere. Quit collecting checks, brother. Let's go, man. We 10 weeks into the season. There's only so many things that we can say. Oh, maybe he was hurt. Oh, maybe they don't want to use him too much. Oh, he's a gimmick receiver. He's a this, he's a that. Are you a football player or not? If they put you in a position to make a play, make a play. Make a play. Make yourself available to Josh. Is your route running not adequate enough? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. You're getting paid $8 million. Make yourself available. I'm speaking quickly because I got to get to it because the game's going to start very, very shortly. Lastly, the trenches. We talked about it. We talked about it. We talked about it. We've got to win in the trenches. But which side of the trench am I talking about here? Which side of the trench am I talking about here? And based on, because I was looking at the defensive front, and I'm going to continue to look at the defensive front. This is where we got to step. Von Miller, AJ Epinesa, Ed Oliver. Like, this is it. If this is the game that you guys got to bring in and step up, this has got to be the game. Ed Oliver, I'm sick and tired of being quiet, brother. And I don't want to hear, he affects the game. Affecting the game is when I see number 91 with second sack of the game. They can't stop 91. He is disruptive. He's all over the place. They don't have an answer for him. How often do you hear that? You know how often I hear it with Chris Jones? We got to find out what Chris Jones is because he's just absolutely wrecking his game. We haven't had and we haven't heard that this year yet with any player on the defensive front. Maybe you think Greg Rousseau had one of his best games a couple games ago. Bro, Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, You know what I mean? Jordan Phillips, if they play you today, they probably will. Right? Quentin Jefferson. One of y'all has to be so disruptive today that they are having issues. We need you in the backfield, not allowing JT to get going. Essentially putting the game on Joe Flacco at 40 years of age and coming off the bench. And if Joe Flacco beats us, shame on us. But I'd rather Joe Flacco be the one to beat us and go up against our strongest unit, which is the defensive backfield, rather than getting torched in the run, because we know it's weak. If we stop that and we put the emphasis on stopping that, then these guys on the back end have to do their job. Have to do their job. It's very simple. It's a simple game plan. And you know what? And overall, let's put the bow on this thing. Hey, coach, decision making has to be key. Don't F it up. Don't F it up. Don't F it up. Let these boys play. Let them do what they do. Don't make decisions that throw this whole thing off, right? And that comes Bobby Babbage, McDermott, Joe Brady. Listen, those are the things. These are the keys to this game, man. Not giving the ball away, and I say giving the ball, making bad decisions. Essentially, you know Josh is going to show up. He better. And who's going to show up for him? He's the point guard today. He's the facilitator. But when I'm handing you something, if I'm tossing you something, make something of it. You know how easy it is for me to go to you 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. You don't come in. I ain't looking at you no more. Now I'm going to somebody else. So don't be the person that is the liability that doesn't allow Josh to flourish today. We want Josh to flourish. We got to make it happen. So, folks, no, there's no and ifs, buts about it. Right now, no Coleman, no Cooper, no Gilliam, no Ed Felucio. Listen, Eddie's been on this inactive list the whole season, so no difference here. Will Clapp gone. They bring up KJ Hamler just to make him inactive. Awesome. Waste that call up. Don't understand that move. But here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. So, folks, there's not much to this whole situation. Those are the keys to this game. So I'm going to go to the chat right now and see how everybody's feeling, and we'll go from there. My man said, I'm playing Shakir over Jameson Williams, Brian Thomas Jr. today. Well, it makes sense. It makes sense. This could be the Khalil Shakir game. This could be the Kincaid game. Dawson Knox, even. I keep sleeping on Dawson Knox, but Dawson Knox got to get himself involved as well. Got to get himself involved. Nick Provia says, hey, one thing to consider, JT was running a lot better with AR under center. Small sample size, but something. I mean, listen, when you have to account for Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, you got to pick a poison. Who do you want to get killed by? It's tough to defend the Ravens. Very tough when you have Lamar Jackson playing the way he's playing, and you got Derrick Henry. JT has you doing the same thing because he's athletic as ever. He ain't athletic as Lamar Jackson, but he can make some differences. So you have to pick your poison. How? By making a decision on who you feel is going to hurt you more. In this case, we know JT is going to hurt us a lot. Joe Flacco ain't going to hurt us at all with his legs. So you know the emphasis is a lot easier to defend this team. We've got to be better. This is the better team. We are the better team. Vegas has us by 4 points. Handle business. My man, Hollinsco says, hey, we need Ray Davis to go crazy. If Ray Davis gets his touches, we already know what time it is. When Ray Davis gets the same amount of touches as James Cook, success comes our way. James Cook got to go off today. Got to go off. Can't turn the ball over. Do not give the other team, opposition, any opportunity, any wiggle room to try to keep this game close. If I'm the Indianapolis Colts, how I'm going to beat the Bills is by running the football. And if they don't stop me, I'm going to continue to run the football and short dump offs here and there. Right? Because that's exactly what the Bills want. That's what they want. The Colts know that the Bills are going to expect them to run. And we will. And show me that you can stop it. And until you do, I'm going to keep giving you Jonathan Taylor. My man said, Colts Nation, give it to JT. I would too. I would too. If I got Jonathan Taylor, I'm giving him the football. And the Bills can't be dumb enough to think that they're not going to. Take a look. You got no Michael Pittman Jr. You got Josh Downs as your main guy. You got Adonai Mitchell as your rookie. Hasn't done much all year. Watch this be the game that he goes off. We've got to be on our P's and Q's, baby. We got to. We got no choice. So the game is around the corner. Let's keep it funky. Those are the ways we win today, man. No, there's no and, ifs, or buts about it. The two big time receivers that we drafted in the our first pick, and B, that we traded for, are not playing today. So who does show up? Jalen Virgil. And who do we bring up? Tyrell Shavers. So now, here's another thing. A last aspect before I get out of here. I talked about Khalil showing up. I talked about Kincaid showing up. Don't get called up and not make the most of your opportunity, Tyrell Shavers. Don't get called up, Jalen Virgil, and not make the most of your opportunities. 6'1", 210, Jalen Virgil, speed. Tyrell Shavers, you know this offense. You made this team for a reason. This is your opportunity right here. You don't get them often. Not often when you have Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman out. We'll see you post-game. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bills, Colts are about to face off. I want you to stay tuned in with my man Pierre. Pierre's going to be jumping in on the live feed. We go from there. What are your score predictions real quick? Give it to me right now before this game goes down. What's going on? What do you see? It's a Bills dub? Is it a Bills dub? Let me give it to me. Is it a Bills dub? Are we putting up 30 points again? Can we put up 30? This team has been keeping teams around 20, 21 points. Defensively, they're not a bad squad. Middle of the pack. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We'll find out. Virtually actually signed. He actually signed to 53. So we're going to see what goes down. They got their opportunity. Let's see if they do. 27-25. I like it. My man said Indy 27-21. All right, they're putting 27 points on us. All right. I like it. Cook goes for 200. Give it to me. Give it to me. All right, folks. That's it for me. We'll let you guys enjoy the game. My son wants to come in. It's his birthday today. It's my son's birthday. He's 3 today. How old are you? How old are you? We're 3. 1, 2, 3. We go. We're going to get the Bills win today. So, folks, if we get it, we get it. If we don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm celebrating nonetheless. I want to celebrate my son's birthday, and I want to celebrate a Bills win. Ain't that right? That's right. Birthday. It's your birthday. Say, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Hey, go Bills. We gotta go. We go watch this game. Say, people.